there's a lot of spooky decorated homes out there, but there's one home in Maple Ridge that got top honors for their display from last year. The owners have called it Alouette Cemetery. It won Best Rookie Home Haunt by the Canadian Haunters Association. This year, they've added even more spooky elements. And with us right now is Brad Lyle. Brad is part of the team behind Alouette Cemetery. Brad, hello there.
Hi, Gloria.
Oh, you sound so calm. Come on. Join in the fun. Congratulations on that. Say again.
Hello.
I like it. Congratulations on your win. So, when did you start getting into the spirit of decorating your home for Halloween?
Oh, when I was a little kid, many, many years ago. We've always decorated for Halloween. But as you get to be an adult, you kind of go on hiatus as you're, through your college years. And you're living in a small one-bedroom apartment. You don't have space to do that kind of thing, but you put stuff in the windows and stuff. But then you get a home and you decide that you're going to throw some decorations out in the yard. And it just, grew from there. It got a little bit more formal about 3 years ago. And we decided we wanted to do something that wasn't so hodgepodgey. And, it was during COVID and wanted to get off the couch and into the garage and building stuff. So it just sort of grew from there. So we called it Alouette Cemetery. And here we are 3 years later with an award-winning haunt.
Okay, so take us there, if you will. Imagine I'm walking along the street and I'm deciding to take the turn into your sidewalk in your home. What do I see?
The first thing that happens when you turn the corner is you've got a real scary-looking skeleton sitting on top of the column with a lantern. And everything's animated in the yard. We built it all ourselves. And he turns and he looks at you and he follows you through. I call him the Watcher.
The Watcher. What kinds of reactions do you get from people who come by your house?
It's a little bit of everything. You get people that are just like, wow, that's cool. You get people that are kind of scared by it. But one thing for certain, if they're walking their dogs, the dogs are barking, for sure.
So you've got things that move and jump out at you, that kind of thing?
Yeah, we've got over 15 animatronics in the yard now. So we started off with just the cauldron, sir, in the middle of the yard, and it's grown from there. So I used to build everything myself. Now I've got a good friend that helps me build all the mechanics and all the animatronics. So that's really helpful.
Okay, so what's something fun that you've added this year that you didn't have before?
Ooh, this year we added, I think 4 or 5. I think I had 5 props on the list. We got 4 actually out in the yard. So one of them is a tombstone that stands about 4 feet high. We call it Dead Ringer. And it's hooked up to a motion sensor. And when you walk by it, the bell rings. So there's an old tale in the 1800s that they used to bury people with a string attached to their finger. And if they're buried alive, they could ring the bell and somebody would come undig them. So there's that. And then there's also one we're calling Shackles. And he's on one of the columns out front. And he's hanging from chains and he sways back and forth.
I can see you on the screen there swaying back and forth yourself. You're obviously having a lot of fun with this. But, do you have, actual background that gives you some expertise in this realm?
Not really. I went to art school many years ago.
Well, that counts. That counts.
Yeah, trained as a painter, but I've always had an affinity for sculpture and stuff. But I think what it was is, when we started, about 4 or 5 years ago, we did a funeral scene for Halloween, and that's sort of where it all began. And I said to my wife, I saw this thing on YouTube that I think I can build, and it was the cauldron, and then it just went from there. So it's a little bit of everything. There's art, there's mechanics, there's electronics, there's it just it keeps me just the mind is just always learning and growing the haunt. It's a lot of fun. Well, I call it Imagineering. So
Imagineering. I like this. But you and your wife have actually teamed up with another couple to really put everything into this display. What's that been like?
Yeah, that's been great. Last year was the first year we doubled the size of the haunt because the first year was just our yard. And then we moved into the neighbor's yard. And the neighbor is like, okay, you can have the yard. I don't want to help build it or anything. So that's great. And she helps us store it too. But then Peter and Lisa Baroni, friends that just live about a block away, they've really gotten involved with it. So they're helping, build tombstones. Pete really has a mechanical sense about him. So he helps me build the animatronics and figures things out mechanically a lot quicker than I do. So that's great. He leaves the Mod Podging to me, which is the term we've come up with.
Mod Podging. I like that.
Yeah.
Brad, I mean, the display is one thing, and then you got to deliver with the treats. I mean, you must be a major destination. How much do you invest in treats?
We've probably got about 1,500 pieces of candy here at the house. So probably about 1,000 of that is left because, we've been picking away at it for the last few couple of weeks.
Oh, that's what we've been doing in the newsroom, too. That's so funny. Okay. Well, so, I know, but I can't help but kind of go cha-ching, adding it up in my brain. This must be a major financial commitment as well for the whole display.
Yeah, well, the display itself costs, quite a lot to build, especially when we started building things like columns and fencing and all that kind of stuff. Everything is like foam and PVC tubing, the electrical conduit and stuff. And I build the wrought iron that goes on it out of 12 gauge fencing wire with PVC tubing, and then it all looks like real. But remember back in 2020, the cost of lumber went sky high, and that added to the cost.
Oh, no doubt. Listen, It sounds like you and your neighbors and your friends have a whole lot of fun just putting together this project. The real payoff is tonight when you see all those delighted faces. Brad, thank you, and a very happy Halloween.
Thank you, Gloria. Happy Halloween to you too. Thanks.